One of my favorite things about fiber laser is removing the rust. It is so satisfying. And the second, the insanely long lifespan. Hello, welcome to my tech farm. ACMER sent me their fiber laser for the testing. This is PM 30 watt fiber laser marking machine. And I got this box for free. There is no additional payment, but this is quite valuable machine, so probably most of you will consider this as a sponsor video. Maybe it is, but from my side, this is sponsored, but from the polymaker, who is also a channel sponsor too. This version is with a manual focus, and they have two types. SM series, focus on maximum power and larger working area. There the optical unit is separated, and then with optical cable it is transmitted to the galvo head. The PM, which is this one, is more compact portable, either for smaller studios because everything is in one piece. They will soon have the MOPA version 2, which is type of the fiber laser with much wider pulse control, and with this we have some additional possibilities like color marking on the stainless steel. But that's a separate story. The maximal speed is 10,000 millimeters per second, and it is possible because the galvo head is rotating and directing the laser on the surface. Lifespan, typical for the fiber laser, is very long, 100,000 hours. And if you calculate with the 6 hours per day usage, this gives us 45 years. Of course, this is the lifespan of the light source. They offer 2 years warranty, 30-day return possibility. And about the software, it is compatible with the BSL Cad and LightBurn. But for the LightBurn, don't forget, we need additional galvo license too. It's box in a box. It's much bigger than I thought. To be honest, it's much bigger than I thought. The working area is 150 millimeters in X and Y direction, and they offer a lens so it can be extended to 200 millimeters in X and Y direction. This is the main unit, and it is connected with this optical cable with the galvo head. This is the vertical column, ruler, power cable, USB cable, some sample materials. This is the switch. Probably we can activate the engraving with our leg, USB, pen drive, adapter, and some bolts and tools for the assembling, and of course safety glasses. What I'm missing here is some kind of printed user manual or a quick start guide, but probably it is on this USB drive. There is no user manual on USB drive, only on the website, and assembling is easy, only don't forget to connect these two cables before assembling. And now mounting the head. Now I have a small problem because here we can see 4 holes and here 7, and it's not mentioned even in the user manual which 4 I have to use. According to the picture, I'll try to use the lowest 4. And actually there is a QR code with the latest user manual, and then we can see this line. This is the calibration line, and distance from the object should be 282 millimeters. On the right side of the machine we can see some information which includes the parameters for the LightBurn. On the right side, laser switch, emergency stop button, and then on the front we can see 3 buttons, down, up and focus. Now my version is with the manual focus, so I think these buttons will not work on my machine, but I will check this later. Unfortunately it's not mentioned in the user manual. On the back side we can see 2 big fans, power input with a switch. This is the USB connection with the laptop. This is a rotary unit connection, and I think this is the connection for this foot switch. I will use the LightBurn, devices, import, and this file was on the USB drive. It will prepare all those parameters, so I don't have to set it manually. I can even check it here. Only I had to mirror the x-axis, that was the only change here. And then I'm drawing a rectangle, 20 by 20 millimeters, and this will be engraved. Just quick check of the dimension. setting the focus 282 millimeters from the object, removing the lens cap. And I didn't change anything, I left default settings, which in this case was too strong. And as you can see, this was too strong. And from default fill, I switched to offset fill, but I didn't change the speed or the power, and this was still too strong, so I stopped it. And then I switched to the line. And actually this was what I wanted at the beginning. I get used to 20 watt power, but this was too strong for my experience. Quick check of the dimensions, 20 by 20, so those settings are correct. But I have to be more careful, I damaged the surface already. Engraving a grayscale image, let's see the settings. Speed 60,000, this is millimeters per minute, 75% the power, 40 kilohertz, and a negative image, this has to be turned on. All others are left, the default settings, image mode deter and one pass. Even on this high resolution, finish in just few minutes, and the result is fascinating, really sharp image. And now moving outside. For next few engravings I'm expecting more harmful fumes, so that's why I moved outside here on the balcony. In winter I'm just using an old vacuum cleaner and I place the pipe above the working surface. I have a lot of these wrenches which I got with different products and I hate when I don't have numbers on them. Very important, again adjusting the focus to new surface. Here you can see my settings. I'm starting with 12,000 millimeters per minute, 90% power. This was real-time speed. Switching to fill, but I will increase the speed from 12 to 20,000. It should be in the center now. Not exactly the final result. There is a 2 millimeters offset approximately. But the engraving is very deep and permanent. This is the line. And this is the fill, much stronger. Engraving the other side, but this time with the offset fill, same settings. And the offset fill. I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen. There is an offset in X direction, approximately 2 millimeters. And I asked the ACMER how can I calibrate this. I'm waiting for the answer, so it will be included somewhere in the video later, if it will be solved. Engraving raw aluminum, and I'm using the same settings like with the previous marking. It's visible even for the touch, but I still want to try a little bit stronger engraving. Slow down to 10,000 with 2 passes. Very visible and permanent. Oh, I can feel it. Anodized aluminum should be very easy for this engraver, because you just have to remove the anodized surface. Focus is adjusted, same settings, speed 10,000, 2 passes. I think it's even too strong. For example, here I can just feel that it removed the top layer, but with this number 5 I can feel that it started removing the aluminum material itself. Speed 20,001 pass, and I reduce the power to 60%. And I can feel that this is still too strong. I will try to do some squares test engraving. Well, not squares, but similar, from 10,000 up to 50,000 millimeters per minute speed. Except the first one, all 4 looks great. Of course the best is the last one, because it's fastest. And this time even for the touch, only the anodized layer is removed, like these ones, with the dyed lasers. Deep engraving in brass. These settings I got from the ChatGPT. Yes, this looks acceptable now. This is real-time speed, but I will create a time-lapse video. This part is speeded up approximately 20 times. Finish in 18 minutes, and I think this is too deep, but I let it finish. But before I'm measuring, before moving it, I want to do some cleaning passes too, but it looks quite okay even now. Even cleaning pass parameters I got from the ChatGPT, and you will see it works. Cleaning pass. This is presented in real-time speed. Only the edges are not clean. 0.86 millimeters. This is really deep engraving, maybe even too deep. Let's try to engrave something on the stone, and it's not even flat. And again parameters which I got from the ChatGPT, but maybe this time they are a little bit too strong. The beginning I'm presenting you in real-time speed, and now speeded up 8 times. And the end also presented in real-time speed. Beautiful, very deep engraving, and suggestions for the settings I got from the ChatGPT, but maybe this is even too strong for this rock. And my favorite function of fiber laser is rust removing, and I remove the rust from this part here to show you. I set the focus to top of this cylinder. I just draw a rectangle, and here you can see my settings. And again the suggestions I got from the ChatGPT, because my experience is for 20 watt fiber laser. So now we finish it, but I want to show you before and after this cleaning. Can we engrave some injection molded plastic? It's a little bit confusing. With Galvo lasers we should use millimeters per second, and with Cartesian engravers millimeters per minute. Engraving is there, but very weak. I reduce the speed. The power is the same, only I'm using 2 passes. This time much better. The marking is there, and I can feel that it is quite good melted. And just one more time a reminder, so this is why you need a good ventilation for this, or do it outside if possible. Actually, on USB drive there is a free software, BSL Cad, which has a lot of similarities with the LightBurn, but of course with less possibilities. And in this case, there is no visible offset between the red marking and the engraved graphics. I tried few more things, for example to finish this cross. Looks off, but if I analyze the footage, my positioning of the red marking was off too. Using of BSL Cad needs some learning. For example, after I insert the text, I have to click on apply, and only then I can see the changes. So not so super comfortable for the using like LightBurn, but it is good to have a free software too. And now the conclusions. Somehow I really like these fiber laser machines, completely new possibilities compared to those blue dyed laser which I get used to. I really enjoy marking the metal, especially the rust removing. And this is my first 30 watt version. The previous strongest was 20 watt, and I can feel this extra power, and they even have much stronger variations. Yes, these are expensive machines, but or you must have already the project for this, or maybe you will in few years, because don't forget the lifespan is very long, and maybe that inspiration will come in few years. So this is always a long investment compared to dyed lasers, where the lifespan is around 10,000 hours, here 100,000 hours. I still didn't got the answer from the ACMER about that offset in X direction, that 2 millimeters. In the meantime I got the answer that with the LightBurn I cannot fix this offset. I should use LightBurn Pro, or maybe the free software which arrived on USB drive, which is the BSL Cad. I presented it on the end of this video. And actually it's already calibrated and there is no offset problem there. This was my experience with this fiber laser. I'm curious, if you already have a fiber laser, then what are you using it for? Or maybe if you want to buy it in the future, what is your application for this machine? Thank you for watching this video, and happy engraving, I think. Bye.